Greetings, I'm Caffeine Rage and welcome back to the Sunday Sampler. This week we're going to be taking a quick look at Slowdrive. Yeah, I know, a little counterintuitive there. This is a self-published game by One Brave Robot, and boy did they make some brave choices on this one. Oh. And as per usual, this is a review copy for the Sunday Sampler. That is kind of the way things have run. Most of the time. Anyway, what do I mean by some brave choices? Well, particularly in color design on this game. Or should I call it retina burning? Let's take a quick look at the options menu and I'll show you exactly what I mean. Well, you can kind of see it already on this menu with white background, lime green buttons, and cayenne buttons. But can you read that? I'd be fucking shocked if you could, to be perfectly honest. I could barely read it. And that's before YouTube compression and all sorts of trickery. And that's the thing, a lot of the menus are like this. Some of the gameplay is like this, where it is white text on a... I guess that's lime green. Is that chartreuse? I don't know what, but... that is retina searing. So let's just... go into the level select, and you can see more of that there with the high skies level set, but each of these level sets are groups of levels. There are, well, you can see right there 12 levels with some bonus ones at the end, which we'll get to in a little bit. The developer claims 60 levels on this, and I'm going to call at least partial bullshit on that. Mostly because of how the levels are built. Each of these are level chains, in that 1, 2, and 3, in this case, make up level 4. So level 4, you're essentially rerunning levels 1, 2, and 3 all over again for a longer track, and it continues on, and on, and on, and on, and on. And if the obstacle course is exactly the same, so I can't say if it continues because it does. Yeah, that's kind of bullshit, to be perfectly honest. And there is a bonus level after you beat all the levels, or a set of bonus levels, I should say. And these are essentially just open, semi-open world areas where you have to pick up a certain number of power-ups, or a certain number of essentially checkpoints, I guess is the better term. But let's just, I've sat here for 3 minutes talking about the game, but not shown any gameplay, so let's go into the first few levels and let you see the opening cutscene as well, so you can see the cute sloth. He goes, "This is your playable character, a sloth." And he's asleep. And honestly, this is the only time you ever see the gameplay, or I should say a cutscene, at least so far. You've seen exactly how far I am in the game, so maybe, yeah, there's an ending cutscene. I don't know. But, yeah, it looks like he also... Is that his car? Is he stealing the car? I like to think he's stealing the car. But anyway, here we go. We're off. Off to the races. And it is literally a time trial. Think of it as almost Super Meat Boy. Well, got a little wide there, but still got 1 star. And you could rerun the course as well. So, it's... Super Meat Boy isn't a bad comparison for this game. Short levels, even the full 3-course segment, or 3-segmented course main level. It's short bite-sized levels that you go through and try to get the best score on, and that's really all the game is. I want to kind of call it a driving platforming puzzle platformer, particularly because of some of the layer levels, which we'll just go ahead and we'll grab... I'm trying to remember what's a good example of what I want to talk about. Well, the reason why I call this a puzzle platformer, we'll just continue on with level 2, is that sometimes the fastest route isn't always the most obvious. As in, if you would just be following the road, you would have missed that turnoff completely. And you would think that that route would be faster, but it would cause you to go past this. That's saying it's not guaranteed that this is the fastest route. And matter of fact, a lot of the routes are really what you can figure out. And sometimes things are hidden. And sometimes the driving physics kind of just makes you your bitch. I will say that the driving is really simple, and it does what it what I expect it to do most of the time. Granted, there I kind of bobbled, but but it's good enough to get past everything, at least for the most part. And I do like the graphics overall. It's just the color choices. Damn. Let's take this route to see if... Yeah, maybe if I didn't cut to the edge there. I don't know. But that's where the puzzle platformer aspect comes in. And you can see that this is the 4th level, which means that it's 1 through 3. And that does kind of annoy me that... Okay, it's 60 levels, but then there repeats. That seems a little shady to me. I don't know. Maybe I'm just overthinking it. Let's try it this way again. See, this time... Oh, maybe that is faster. Yeah, I knocked a little bit of time off. Granted, it looks like I'm about half a second slow still for the 3-star, but not bad. But it is a nice little puzzler. It's just I wish it didn't hurt my eyes so much. And I've messed around with my monitor settings for actually a fair amount of time, and I've been trying to figure out just why the... we'll go into the bonus levels. Oh, I actually have to get a star on that too. I'm just going to kind of just drive around aimlessly. Maybe try to get a star on this. Because these are actually tough and I just already screwed up. I've been trying to rack my brain on exactly why the color choices in this are the way it is. Because between the bright greens and everything, it is just... It gives me eye fatigue, is the best way I could describe it. And maybe it's just, sloths are colorblind. And I don't mean that in a disparaging way. I mean that maybe there's some sort of color blindness on the developer. This is a one-man development team. Or maybe I'm just being very susceptible to it. Screwed up again. Or maybe I'm just being big baby, which is also very possible. I lost some time on the impact there. It's just I wish I liked this a lot more than I did because of all the color problems. Looks like I knocked off a little bit of time. Still not enough for a gold star, but I'm close. The thing is, that's not even the fastest way because, I'm still 2 seconds off of the fastest time. Oh, I didn't even show you the car customization, did I? There's car customization as well. All this is purely cosmetic from what I can tell because I've had it where my car had the surfboard and everything kind of just clipped through the level geometry. And there's different colors for and different overall paint jobs as well. Whoop. I keep clicking off of it. Like, there's clouds, a nice fadeaway, a dotted line, racing stripe. That actually doesn't look bad. Yeah, there we go. Bitchin. And that's the thing. This is a nice budget title. It's just very, very hard to recommend because of the menus and the overall color schemes. There we go. And also, it's a little hard to tell at times just what you're selecting, especially if you get on that. If you don't notice that it's pulsating, well, you're out of luck. I still have a lot of stars to get to even get to the mist levels, but I will do the obstacle course to let you see that I actually haven't finished the 3 segment one. I'll show you the parts of it. Like now, the course has sections of it that moves. And you have to be in the right place at the right time, otherwise you lose time. Like that. Oh, I overshot. That is one thing that I noticed, is that the acceleration's fairly decent, but the brakes are just crap on this car. And also the reverse gear can be a little less than desirable. If there's any incline, forget about it. But I think we're already done here because there's not a lot to talk about on this game. It's more just bemoaning the state of the colors. And well, the menu system in general, I guess I should say. And wishing that it was more usable, more user-friendly. Let's just back off. And also, the camera could do some weird things at times. There is an in-car camera. Well, there's a good example. Well, to be fair, this is a forward wheel drive car. Speak well, I do not. But yeah, you can see just how sluggish it is backing up, which I could understand. You're meant to go forward most of the time, but still. And also, you can't look directly behind you, which is kind of weird for a racing game, which I do technically call this a racing game. I mean, you're racing against the clock, but still. Oh. I never noticed that the cars were forward wheel drive. Oh, I don't know why I can't say that today. Or come up with the proper term for it. Are all the cars like that? Because if so, that could answer a big thing about just the cars in general, because they do sometimes handle a little wonky. And if I didn't realize that they were forward drive cars, finally. Let's just go back here. We'll skip the cutscene. Yeah, I just want to... Yeah, you can see right there where there's hardly any torque on the backup. Yeah, I think they're all forward drive cars. That's interesting. Oh, and there's a leaf there. This is a pickup for various goodies. We'll grab that. New paint unlocked. So we'll see what we got. Go back to the menu. And we got... I've written the searing green. But this is definitely a game for, speedrunners, people that want to play and master a game. And the thing is that there's not a lot of people playing. I mean, in my first impressions, I'm up to rank 68. And there is leaderboards to master and that sort of thing, but... And it allows you to see the ghost. I wish it was a little bit more intuitive if I could see the ghost. Matter of fact, let's try from out here. Yeah, that's something that I noticed, is that sometimes the segments, because you are coming in from a dead stop, it changes the routes as well. So during the 3-part segment, this is faster because you already have the momentum, even though I'm not making the turn. But because you're starting from a dead stop, you have that being the fastest thing. It's an interesting take on things. So are we done here? Let's see. I think we are. I'm just looking at my list. It is a fun game. All right, let's see if I could get the... Oh. I wanted the fastest time ghost, but then I clicked out. That was my fault. We'll just go across. And unfortunately, well, no, there we go. Oh, see, there's the fastest time car. And see, it was up. Yeah, I'm not quite sure how they're handling that, but it's nice to have that feature built in. That's Steam leaderboards, if I recall correctly. Yeah, I'm just taking that turn way too wide. Need to cut it right on the edge. And there's the front wheel drive giving me problems. But are we done here? I think we are. I mean, I showed you some of the advanced levels. Let's go ahead and head back, and I'll show you one of the mid-level full courses. And that's a good place to wrap things up, I do believe. So, over. Then, brakes gave me trouble. And that's the thing, is that the brakes are constantly terrible on these cars. But we'll go with that, see if we can finish. I think we're not going to have the momentum. Oh, no, we barely did. But this is going to be award-winning any stretch. Yeah, we just don't have the momentum. It's a very momentum-based game, as you may imagine, since it is cars. Yeah, I do apologize for not doing particularly well. Especially since I slam on the brakes and the car just continues to go right on. Yeah. But it is more arcadey driving than anything. Yeah, let's just go with that. Fine. We'll take the scenic route. You can see what I pulled off last time, or my fastest time, I should say. Not my last time, of course. But it definitely has. If you want something that is sort of like a driving Super Meat Boy, well, here you go. Even though there are times that, because it's front wheel drive, it does some odd things. Like I said, it's a game that definitely takes some getting used to. Oh, and that didn't count as an ending. That's also another thing I've noticed, is that you have to drive directly across that line. There's no soaring across that line. Well, you fly over it, but you have to go under the banner, essentially. Okay, do we have enough momentum? Yes, we do. Of course, we're losing time with my car just waddling on the turns, but yeah. There you go. That's about as good as I'm going to get. And it was a 3-star. Still not even in the top 10, but I think we're done here. Short levels. It claims to have 60 levels, even though I'm calling bullshit on that one with the whole chain thing. Pretty straightforward. The best route isn't always the most obvious, though, so it does make it more of a puzzle platformer or puzzle racer. I don't know. Make up your own genre at this point. The bright colors, especially on the menus, can lead to some eye strain. Particularly for me, and I've been messing with my monitor settings for a good half hour just to try to lessen it, and it is still just retina searing on just about anything I could do. Which, yeah, the menus and especially the level select is just terrible. I don't know how that got past just quality assurance, which I realize this is a one-man development team, but quality assurance is him, but still. But in the end, it is a simple but fun driving game. If you're looking for a driving game or just a puzzle game that is kind of Super Meat Boy driving, then there you go. Or if you just want a cute sloth that steals cars and wears a plaid shirt. Maybe it's the sloth that's colorblind, and actually sloths are colorblind. Maybe we're onto something here. Oh no, I'm going to go ponder this some more. Anyway, that is Slowdrive. It is $5.99 on Steam. And I want to say thank you for watching. If you wish to see the rest of my content, feel free to subscribe. And if you have any constructive feedback, leave it down below. And, well, if you don't, but want to let me know that you've enjoyed or hated this, hit the appropriate buttons. And we are out of here. I'll see you next time with more of the Sunday Sampler.